Good. Okay, let's do another one here real quick. Where's my... Copy that one and paste that there. So I have this. Do I need to zoom back in for anyone? I don't know what size of screen everyone's working on. Let's do... This one's 49, and this one is 576. What's this number going to be? Don't press enter yet. Okay? Alexander and Trey, don't press enter. We'll do a waterfall method. We'll give everybody a little bit of time to think about it, type their answer in. And then when I tell you, we'll all press enter at the same time. Not yet. So I want everyone to put their answer in the chat, but do not press enter. What do we think that third square is going to be? Give it 10 more seconds. You can just type the number in the chat. Okay. On the count of 3, everyone press enter. Press enter. Go. 625, 625. Oh. 248. Did you minus there, Andrew Schuster? So remember, to find the big square, we add the 2 small squares. So if I were like to draw this one, so in this case, it's small square plus small square equals the big square. Okay? Let's do one more, and then I'll make another leap of faith here. Make this bigger. Let's go with 81 on this one, and 1600 on this one. Okay, type it in, but do not press enter, okay? What do we think this one's going to be right here? Okay. Okay, on the count of 3, let's all press enter. 1, 2, 3, press enter. Good. So we add those 2 numbers. 1681, right? All right, now let's do this one. And tell me that box. No, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan, where'd that come from? Just add the two numbers together. I think you multiplied them, Dylan. Was that 1600 times 81? Yeah, you multiplied them together to get that number. Hey, Emma, shush. Emma, Luke, shush. Emily, shush. Don't worry, everyone's running with it. Okay. How did we get that number? Someone want to tell me? You subtracted. Why did you subtract? Good. So when you're trying to get a small square, you take the big square minus off a small square to equal another small square. Okay? Good. Let's try one more of those. And then we'll take another leap of faith. How come I cannot? There. Alright, let's try this one. Three, 7, 2, 1, and 121. Okay, don't press enter. Put your answer in, but don't press enter. Okay, on the count of 3, you can press enter. 1, 2, 3, and away she goes. So the correct answer is 3600, because remember we're going from big to small. So 3721 minus 121 will give us that. Alright. Now let's go to this one. So here's my question for you now. Let's take a look at this one again. Can you guys remind me how we went from 16 to 4? What operation did we do here? How do you go from 16 to 4? What's the operation? Not add, but we take the square root, right? So if we take a look at this one, we take the square root of 25. If you take a notice here, the square root of 25 equals 5. So if I get out my calculator, I'll do it here. To find your square root on the calculator, you press 25, then this button right here, where it says square root. And once you tap it, it'll turn into 5. Just like 16, square root 4. So whatever the number is in here, the way you get to a side length is by taking the square root of it. And same with this one, 9 square root 3. Now if you're on a calculator like this, the way you do that is you press the square root button first, and then press 25. Okay? So, can someone work out with me I'll name these sides. I'll name this triangle A, this triangle B, and this triangle C. Can you guys tell me what the side lengths, sorry, not triangle, the squares. What's the side length of square B, what's the side length of square C, and what's the side length of square A? In chat, like just go A equals, B equals, C equals. B equals 12, good. That means 12 times 12 equals 144. Another way to say that is 12 squared. A is 5, good. And C is 13, good. And the way to get this number here is you press in 13 squared on your calculator, because length times width. And if you're using an Apple phone, you can just go 13 and then this button up here. Press that and it'll square it, which is 169. Or 12 squared, 144. Or in the case of regular calculator, 12, and this number here, it says x to the power of 2. And I'll put a little 2 up there. Okay? Let's take a big leap here. Let's do this. I'm going to give you this side is 7. I'll lead you on a little bit. This side is 24. I want you to fill in these spots. We'll call this spot A, call this spot B, we'll call this spot C, we'll call that spot A squared, B squared, C squared. Oops. I want you to find this side for me. Okay? So I'm looking for what A squared means, B squared means, C squared means, and then what C is. Right? B squared is not 56. Okay, let's go through this. I'm going to go through this with you. Okay? Now let's see if we go through. So Emma is correct here, where this is 576. Okay? This one here is 49. So the way we got this number is we did 24 times 24, because we're finding the area of that, right? Area equals length times width. The length of this is 24. The width of this is 24. Okay? Same with this one. 49 equals 7 times 7. And then we add these together to get this one. Remember how our two blocks add up? 576 plus 49 equals this number. Then we take the square root. Alright, I'm going to try one more, but we're going to break it down a little different. Okay. Let's go step by step here. This side is 3. Okay? I'll leave it. What number is what's the area of this square if that side is 3? What number is going to go in the middle of that square? So remember, length times width. Okay. Length times width just equals 9. Okay. Now, if this number is 4, don't tell me the number that's going to go in there yet. Don't type it in, but don't press enter. What's going to be my number in here? If that number is 4. Do we agree with Luke that that number is 16? Good. 16, right? You can type it in just by 4 squared on your calculator, right? So whatever number is there, you just put it in, you square it. Now what number is this number? Do we have people that agree with Amelia? Good. And how did we get that number? We added the 2 small squares to get our big square. Then how big are the sides? Amelia says 5. How did you get 5, Amelia? Tell me how you got 5. How did we go from 25 to 5? I agree with her. But how did we get that? Good. You take the square root on your calculator of the area of this shape, just like if you did the square root this way. Good. Okay. So I want you to draw out one of these on your sheet. Okay? I'll give you some numbers in here. Let's go with, this side's 8. This side is 15. I want to know what that side is. Okay? How many people in chat right now read a yes for I think I can get there, or read a no for I have no clue how to get there, or I might struggle? Okay. Okay, let's see how you work it through there. I'll give you a minute to work it through. I expanded the page so you can look at the other one. Okay? And kind of guide yourself using this one to see if you can solve for this one. Don't press enter on your answer though yet. Okay? You should end up with a whole number. So there should not be a decimal place involved with this, okay? A whole number is what I'm looking for. Luke and Dylan, just wondering, do you guys sit near each other as you go through this, or in different rooms? Okay. Okay, another, who would like more time right now? Just say, press T for time if you're working your way through it, but you're not there quite yet. Okay, so I take it everyone's who's done is done. So if you think you have the answer, press enter. Or do you want me to go through the solution first? Square root 17. 17, good. Alright, I'll run through it real quick here. I like the answers I'm seeing. So to get the number here, we take 15 and square it, which equaled 225. To get this number in here, we take 8 and square it, which gave us 64. To get this number, we took 225 plus 64. Is 289. Then we took the square root of 289 to get the 17. Good. Wait a minute. Am I able to move this? Is anyone copying this down? Okay, that's fine. But Andrew, was your system right? I mean, Alex, was your system right? That's all I care about. If you mess up a little calculation, that's not the worst thing in the world. But if you understand the system, it'll work out most of the time. Alright. Alright, leap of faith here. I'm excited with you guys right now because how we're going to learn algebra is going to be very different. How come I can't expand this one? That's fine. Okay. How we're going to do algebra this year is going to be very different from me if I've ever done algebra. I'm very excited. Alright, let's work with I'm going to tell you this time that this side is 41. This side is 40. I want you to find me this side now. Okay? So before you start right now, can I get a ranking of 1 to 10 of how well you understand what we just did? Luke here 2, that's okay. Alright. We're at 5 there, 10. Okay, so we're doing well. So this might be a big jump here. I gave you a hint over here. Same system, but a little different. Okay? Can we solve for this? Okay, I'm looking for this side this time. Same system. Do you guys need me to zoom out so you can see the last question? Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to pull this down here. This would be good to see. Oops. Pull this down here. Okay. Luke, you're very close. You're just missing one last step. Now, Andrew, you look at this for your hint. Right? This time in this question, I gave you this number and this number and asked you to find this number. How did you get that? Yes, you would subtract it because you're finding a smaller square. Then one last step there, Amelia. I want to know the side length, not the area of that square. You have perfect math so far, Amelia. Very good. You're good, Emma? Yep, you're right, Andrew. Good work. Okay, so I'm going to walk through it right now. So we find the area of these shapes. So for this one, we go 40 squared, which equals 1600. For the area of this square, we go 41 squared, which equals 1681. Now we're trying to find a little square. So if we're trying to find a little square, we take the big square, and we minus off the little square to equal the little square. Okay? So big square minus little square equals little square. Okay? It doesn't matter which one. These are called legs. It doesn't matter which one. So in this case, 1681 minus 1600 equals 81. So 81 is going to be the big number in here. And to get that little number, we take the square root of 81, which is 9. Okay? What if I gave you this? Should we work with some big numbers? So just 84. Let's say this big number here is 7056. And then this one is 7,225. Can you find me this side length, this area, and this side length? We'll call this one C. We'll call this one A. We'll call this one B. What should we call this one? We'll call it B squared. Okay? Dylan, if we don't understand right now, we'll hop into a breakout room and work on it as well. Okay? And I think I gave you a cheat sheet already to work on. And I'm not real concerned. Like, this is first introduction to it, Dylan. And we'll touch on it when we're back in class. Like, we'll keep pounding away at this. Oh, Luke, you have to tell me, like, is that B squared? Is that... What's the 169 refer to? The area? Okay. I don't know. You tell me if it's right, Luke. You prove your math. Okay. What's the side length then, Luke? What's the side of that square then? Well, say it with confidence. Is it 13 or not? Yes or no? Okay. Do I believe you or do I believe Amelia and Emma? Okay. How did you go from 169 to 13? Square root. Good. So the way we go from the area of this to here is we take the square root of that number. Right, just like we took the square root of these ones. 84 and 85. Good. Now, what I've actually taught you, well, no, what actually you guys did, I didn't teach it to you, was we did the Pythagorean theorem. Do you guys remember this? C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Do you guys remember seeing that? Yes or no? I think. Does everyone else remember seeing C squared equals A squared plus B squared? Yes, yeah. But that's what we did. Like, we didn't actually do the formula and kind of pound it out from there. But if you look, my C is 85, so let's just leave that there, right? My A is 84, so you go 84 squared plus 13 squared, and 84 squared is 7056 plus 169, and those two numbers add up to this number. And how to get the square, just the C, is we take the square root of both sides. Right? This is all the stuff you guys just did. Right? In this case, to get 13, you actually did this part. We did b squared equals c squared minus a squared. C squared is 7225 minus, oops, I missed a step. 85 squared minus 84 squared, 7056. Right? That's what you guys have done like multiple times for me. But you guys, we just used a visual instead of a formula. Do you guys agree with me? That you guys can do, for the most part, do Pythagorean theorem? Now, you don't have to do Pythagorean theorem using the formula. Okay? You can set up these squares as you do it. And I'm perfectly fine with it. Okay? If you look in your reference pages, I put a diagram, I put a Pythagorean theorem sheet together for you already, where it shows, okay, if I want to try to get a long side, we add these two together, and we take the square root of that. Does that diagram, the dark diagram, make sense to everybody with what we just did? This is the math of it. You don't have to do it like this. If you like doing it with the squares, that's perfectly fine. Okay? Then if you want to find a small square, we do minus of it. Okay? I'm going to make a nice sheet for us that comes up. So for today, in your homework, you may have to refresh your page. There's a whole page of these. We're not going to do those right now. It may seem confusing, like not confusing. Those may seem simple. But actually, I just want you to do these 5-word questions. Okay? Because these 5-word questions, you're all trying to find the long side. You guys remember what the long side is? What that means? What's the word for the long side of the triangle? It starts with an H. I guarantee you probably can't spell it. H-Y. The hypotenuse. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. I would not spell it well either. So you're trying to find the hypotenuse of the triangle, which is the long side of the triangle. Okay? So for you guys here, I'll help you with the first one. I think you're close. I think there's only an E left on that. So if I were to do that, I'll set up the first one with you. Okay? If I were you doing this triangle, I would redraw it on my sheet of paper like this, and just make a couple squares off the end of it. They don't have to be perfect squares, right? And we'll actually do this one ourselves. I mean together. Who can tell me what number I'm going to put in this box? Can you tell me what number I'm going to put in that box? Please and thank you. Oh, no, 42 is the side length, right, Trey? So what's the area of this box? I gotta double check my math. Yep. 1764, because that is 42 times 42, gives us that number, right? Or 42 squared on your calculator. And what number is going to go in here? Oh, not 17. That's a 35. My number may be really messy. I got a different number for 35 squared. Yeah. Good. Give me a second. I'm going to color code this. And what number is that? And what's my number that's going to go in the big box now? What number is going to go here? No, we're going big box, Alex. We're trying to find the big box. So we're going to add them. Yeah, and then what's our last step? How do we find this number right here? We take the square root of this number. And we'll round to 55. 54.7. Okay? So all these questions here are finding the hypotenuse. Okay, so we're all going to be adding. Okay? We're going to be doing adding today. I'm not going to mix it up. Let's just do the adding, the hypotenuse ones where we add. Okay? So you have 4 questions to practice there now. Does anyone want to go to a breakout room to do a quick little review of this? Or do you want to try a question first before? So Dylan, you want to? Okay. Besides that, we're back at 10:45. So take your time. Do the 4 questions, which probably take you maybe 15-20 minutes. Then remember you have, now if I take a look at my answer sheet, you can see you're looking at the second page. This is the first page. So you're going to look at your second page. If you zoom in, I have terrible writing, but I did it mathematically. If you like to do it mathematically, these are horrible pictures actually. I might take a better picture and put it back up. If you want to do it mathematically, it's written out here. If you want to do it with the squares, it's written out here. Okay? So hopefully you can zoom in enough. Why is that camera shot so bad? It's amazingly bad. Alright. The answers are, I think, at the bottom of the second page as well. But that's the step-by-step process. Okay? Alright, let's get Dylan in a room. Oh, 1 second here. Before I do that, I need one person. One person did not do the survey. So if I say your name, it means you've done it. Andrew, Emily, Tiara, Emma, Dylan, Dominic, Amelia, Haley, Alexander, Trey, Evan, Luke, Ben, and Logan. Whose name did I not say? Logan, Ben, Haley, T. Alexander said. Emily had said. These are people that did their. No, this is for the survey of like the attendance one, so I know if you want to work as an individual or a partner. Luke. Did I say Luke's name? I did. Andrew, I said. Trey, I said. Alexander. I said. Austin. I'll put this in the chat again for you, Austin. You want to make sure you do this for me? Dylan, go. Oh, there you go. Morning, Dylan. Okay, I'm going to go to your folder. Shoot, did I put that in the wrong place? I did too. That's good. Alright, I'm going to work under, you see in your folder where I am? I'm in Pyth Thereom CS in your folder. I'll work under there. That's going to give you that. Give me 2 seconds here.